Welcome, part 2. Okay, from a nightmare to a dream, right? And we know that this message is for a specific group of twins that have been doing the work and are meeting up in the land of the in-between. But we know this is happening when night turns to day. Now, the sun has entered Pisces. And this has to do with co-creating this bridge. We're co-creating this bridge from within to without. We're also allowing the time that it takes for this bridge to shift and be built here. So we're going to honor shifting with the moon. From this new moon in Pisces till the new moon in Aries, there's going to be an official restart, a beginning. Something will be illuminated during the full moon, after this new moon, in order to help us to continue manifesting our dreams, to shapeshift. But we're really realizing everything is a dream. It's all a dream. And this is going to amp up how we're able to co-create and what we're building. We're going to take it to the next level officially, and it's beautiful. So we know we've gone within. We're becoming friends with this piece of ourselves, right? This has to go from when we talked about this, when we go from the right cup to the right cup. Because when we're in the cup with the cup of lust, where did that cup go? Right? We're not treating this part of ourselves properly. This is the wrong cup. So we're going within and we see this. This is about becoming friends with part of ourselves, and that's happening with this cup. And this cup is giving us the strength to face our fears. And that's what we're doing. We're going towards our fears. We're facing them. And when we go within, we're literally seeing the love frequency reflected back to us. And this has to do with what's happening here in this cup. Love is being reflected back in this cup. Connection is being reflected back in this cup. The light is being reflected back in this cup. The right cup. Soulmate connection. Into me, I see 1, I see 2, I see 3 plus more. I see my connection to all of life. I see my connection to everything. Right? So into me, I see what I need to see. And I transcend, I ascend, I rise up. And remember, this has to do with a voice activation, angelic attunement, and divine support. We got this message. And this is how we come together. But we have to change the way that we think in order to come together. Brain and heart coherence. We're not coming together with our fears. We're coming together with our love. And it's our love and our connection to everything in all of life. It's all of it. And that's how we know what's of us. So we honored an introspection here. We honor an introspection with the moon in order to change our receptivity. Now this goes back to part 1 where we spoke about scribed messages. This goes back here. Because in scribed messages, we talk about divine kisses. I guess we're going to get an activation off this. The 2 of Cups, our connection to the 2 of Cups and the 2 of Swords coming together Then when the swords meet the cups, we expand through the heart with unconditional love. And that's mouth nourishment. Okay, so this is our connection to when we drink, what goes within us and our lower chakras. Okay? And when we speak our truth, what comes without us. So this is a connection from within to without. But our truth, it's very important we speak our truth, because if we don't, it has the connection to do with our third eye. Okay? And our receptivity. This is about receptivity. So our truth is on point with our heart. Our truth is on point with what we're putting within, even within that cup. So, and this is how we're meeting up on this bridge. We need receptivity, because confirmation right there from the universe, this music stopping at that exact moment. This has to do with brain and heart coherence. So our heart's electromagnetic fields are pulling us together. We have to be in alignment with us in order for us to meet up on this bridge. So we have to be in alignment with us within in order for us to meet up on this bridge without. And a transformation has been honored here. And we know the key is working with the Hierophant, the unknown. We can't be afraid of the unknown right now. This is not, remember, we're changing how we think. We don't have it all figured out. We're like kids in play. We love that we don't have it all figured out. Okay? And our pineal glands and our connection to the feminine and expanding with seed energy. So we're literally going to expand with the moon, our soul, the matter, with our spirit, the masculine, the energy, the sun, and restore balance, vector equilibrium from within to without. This is the thing. We have to make a sacrifice in order to do so. So remember, this isn't about an attunement, an angelic attunement, a change in frequency. And this goes back to like when we started sharing this message in December that we were working on this. We're going to make a sacrifice of love. We're going to dissolve what has not been working out in our partnerships. It's connected to the 7th house and partnerships. And we're expanding our partnerships right now. That's the time that we're in. But in order to expand these partnerships, we have to dissolve what's connected to the South Node, what's connected to our endings, what's connected to our endings of the mind. Because remember, the South Node is our connection to the 10 of Swords in the Tarot. We're having ending with the mind, because this is about our receptivity and how we think. Our thoughts need to be in alignment with our heart. And these are our authentic paths. We're stepping away from group think. This is our authentic think. Because we've had a recalibration with the swords, our truth, and the cups, our feelings, our heart. So when we let go and dissolve what needs to be dissolved between our partnerships, and we have to truly let go here and have this recalibration through self. Remember, into me I see. And I see I wish I made upon a star. And it's connected to when I was a small child, when you were a small child, right? Something is returned with Jupiter. This is when Jupiter returns. And it brings luck. It brings back connection. And this goes back to that saying, this is unconditional love. If you love something, let it go. And if it was meant to be yours, it will come back to you. And that's what this group of twins is working on. They had this connection, and then they went into separation, and they experienced the lowest of lows and the highest of highs, but it was balanced in order for them to continue to create anew with what was seen. But the contrast was needed to happen. So it's like then they let each other go, and they go within, and they have a recalibration to spirit, to their soul and spirit from within to without. But it's where they're expanding to that they meet up, but they have to allow the expansion. And if this is you, you're resonating with this message, let's go. Let's go. And it's in order to create stability through the earth. This is going to create stability through the earth. This is mission work. This is big. This is bigger than us. This is where we're able, when we're looking this cup and we see all of life reflected back to us. Because look, when we are playing with this cup, we're not seeing all of life reflected back to us. We're feeling some sort of way. But when we look in the cup that's of us and we see our connection to all of life reflected back to us, we see where life is suffering. We see where, life is going through it too. And we're here to see how we're all connected. We're all one. And this allows us to create with patterns that are better for life and us and everything. There's a connection made here. Let's get a message on what it is. I feel called to get a message, and I feel called to go here. What is it? Because remember, when I looked into that cup, I saw self-love and soulmate connection and the frequency of love reflected back. I didn't see it in this cup. Where is that? I saw it in this cup. The right cup. And we expand. I expand. Okay. So this has to do with our receptivity. And using it all. That's why Scarab Beetle, we got the Central Sun. Scarab Beetle uses everything to get to where it's going. Scarab Beetle spirit uses what's toxic as fuel to get to where it's going and burns it off and transmutes it along the way. Okay, I'm being called to share the rest of the message. This has to do with, remember, when the swords, let me slow down. All right. That was needed. Okay. We are seeing, we know that we're turning our pleasure into happiness. We're maturing it. We're maturing pleasure into happiness because we know we've been talking about this is where we're healing with our endocrine system and laser focusing on our adrenal glands on top of our kidneys and working on expanding our energy. Remember, receptivity. And the devil has hacked our pleasure centers. This is where things have been twisted. And this is where we get into patterns of separation and addiction because we're longing to feel pleasure because we're in pain. So we're seeking pleasure without. We're not seeking pleasure without. We're healing from lower vibrational stimulus in order to heal and expand what's going on within to restore balance, sadness into happiness. We're going to take pain and turn it into pleasure. But in order to do so, we need to heal with us. We need to heal with where we're feeling out of whack and out of balance. We need to take our power back. We need to take our energy back. And this has to do with, we're going to laser focus on our solar plexus. We're going to find our personal power from within. And we're going to learn how to sustain. This is about sustainability with our energy. So we're honored that this nightmare was the perfect storm. Was the perfect storm for our hearts to activate and see what we needed to see and step into life. We were asleep inside this dream. We need to be woken up so we could wake up and we could co-create in this dream that's a daydream, that's real life. right? So we're integrating it all. We're integrating everything, the good, the bad, the dark, the light, the yin, the yang, the everything in between. And remember, the swords are meeting the cups, okay? The air element, the positive tetrahedron, is meeting up with the negative tetrahedron of water. So look at that. We're expanding communication through sensing and the sixth sense. And remember, this has to do with happiness, right? And sustainability with our energy. We are doing that right here during Pisces season with Guru. We need, though, to be working with our solar plexus. So there's a recalibration with the sacral, a recalibration with the root, and a recalibration with the Earth Star. And that's why we take a dip into the lower world to use that nourishment down here, then to come back up and to have an elevation. Thus the scarab beetle. Remember, what goes low, low, low is going to go high, high, high. And then we will expand through the center point. We will restore balance. And this is allowing us to have a recalibration with our heart chakra. And this is all happening during Pisces season as we connect to our unlimited potential, consciously creating reality. And that's what's happening because we are becoming aware. We woke up inside this dream, this daydream, that's real life. And we understand we are co-creators. We've got the right cup because we saw into us. We saw into us. Oh my goodness. Right here. We saw into us. So we have the right cup. We saw what we needed to see reflected back to us. So we can co-create. But we have to forgive ourselves for our past and its mistakes. It was experience. It's nourishment. Let it go. We're in the present moment. We're co-creating and we understand that the present moment is building the future. So we're consciously creating reality now. And this has to do why we had to look within ourselves. Because we need our uniqueness. We need to act on our uniqueness. Our uniqueness is part of who we came here to be. It's part of our authenticity. I want you to see we have the Page of Wands and the Princess of Pentacles here. So here's the negative tetrahedron of earth coming together with a positive tetrahedron of fire to expand. This is where we're rocking our uniqueness. It's us. This is part of our gifts. Okay? This is part of the... this is that sword that we found in finding confidence in our magic. This is part of our truth. This is part of our authentic vibration. And how we even created that bridge to begin with the land of the in-between. And we know, we are sure, we are so sure. We're so sure. This is the feminine of the new world. She's not wearing any shoes. She's taken off these red shoes that... These are red shoes. To dance. She's got her feet grounded. She's also pregnant. Okay, to birth anew. She's got connection to seed energy down here. Let's try to get the glare. We've got eggs and then a seed growing. Okay. She carries the didgeridoo, the oldest instrument known to man. Look at her. She's transforming. She's literally transforming. She's got like butterfly energy, but she's also walked the worlds. She's found the nourishment of the underworld. She's found the nourishment within the upper world, but she's expanding through the center point. Look, and there too, we have an eclipse. The sun and moon have come together and restored balance. And look at, there's a beanstalk behind her. And she's literally like the biologist of this new world that is, you know, on mission work, restoring life. And it's because when the swords meet the cups and the earth meets the fire, there's unconditional love being activated, okay? We have the negative tetrahedrons coming together with the positive tetrahedrons. And remember, we're in Pisces season. We're believing. We just saw this card. We believe. We're going to believe, and that's going to change how we think and how we communicate. Let me... It's here. Where... It's going to be how... Remember, we have to believe. Believe in unconditional love. Believe that you can't lose love. Because you can't lose yourself. You can't lose your connection to source. And you can't lose your connection to your counterpart. You just let go and have fun. Let's talk. Come on. We're in a dream. Let's have fun. And remember, this has to do with what's been seen in the cup. That's our connection to the 10 of Cups and love. And these Canadian geese, they mate for life. They mate for life. And we're honoring that this connection and this dream is allowing us to heal from the cup of lust and go towards the cup of spirit. And that's of us. And that's why we're honoring all of it. All of it. Okay. So we have a connection to the solar plexus and the throat chakra right now. Whoa. Okay. Hang tight, guys. Hang tight. Hang tight. Well, one card flew by itself and these cards flung. So we'll take this message. I feel called for this one. And then we're going to get one more. So, just gotta reshuffle. Okay. Guys, I gotta recenter myself. Ooh. Okay, there it is. Throat chakra, expressing yourself. Mantra to balance energy. Look at the Sanskrit character in the blue circle on this card. This reads as ham, recognized in the yoga tradition as the seed sound of the ether or space element. Repeat it silently as you gaze at its written form and think of a white swan, as this symbolizes the divine spirit or liberated self in yoga philosophy. Now, there's a connection to meeting ourselves from within here. We've met ourselves within with our truth. We know the elephant is majestic. Yantra meditation to enhance listening and communication. Gaze at the yantra. With half-closed eyes, look at the 16 purple petals starting at the top. Slowly rotate your gaze clockwise. Move your gaze to the downward pointing blue triangle representing the lower energy being funneled up through the throat, and to the circle representing the element space. Then focus on the elephant whose trunks connect earth and heaven. Say to the mantra, Ham, to yourself. Okay, so look. These two cards coming out together. This is each twin meeting up with their truth. This is each sword. This is the swords coming together to meet in the center point with the cup. when we go from a nightmare to a dream. This is this. And there's magic. Remember, there's magic in our swords. And we go from night to day. What's happening here? You go from night to day. We go from night, our soul, to day, sun, spirit. Did I just, oh yeah, we know. Okay. From a nightmare into a dream. When the swords meet the cups, when our thoughts are in alignment with our heart, unconditional love is activated. The octahedron, we add belief to the mix. There it is. Sky dancers surrender with mindful groupthink. Remember, we have to leave groupthink. This was the other activation that we got. We got this activation with when we just change how we think. Where did that go? Because remember, we're coming together. We have to change how we think. Our thoughts have to come in alignment with our heart. And this isn't our worries. Okay? This is like us being able to see through worry and feed into fear and feed into this artificial hack of this artificial matrix. No, we believe in what we've seen with the light. We believe in our unique path. We believe in us. Like, this is us believing in us. So we have to have a beginner's mind because we're co-creating. And that's why it's very important that we just use the past as nourishment. We have to let it go. We're creating anew. And that's why what's dissolving with Neptune, as Neptune dissolves what needs to go between our partnerships, it's just to get closer together. It's not to get into fear. And we've had a recalibration with us and spirit in this cup and understand love. This is very elevated. This is very high. But remember, we're transmuting pain right now. From pain into pleasure. And the next time that we meet up, we are going to talk about, we're going to share the formula. We're going to share the formula from pain to pleasure. As we know, we became unbalanced by taking pleasure to pain. But it was just a trick. It was all part of experience in us for us to in order to understand. Now we're bringing it back to the divine. We're bringing it back to God. And that's untwisting it with unconditional love. And we are turning pain into pleasure. We're transmuting it. And look at that. The fool's embrace. It's a new beginning with love and connection and creation, co-creation. That Ace of Cups, that Two of Cups, and that Three of Cups. All right, guys. Until next time, when we meet again, when we have this new moon officially in Pisces, we expand off this, and we'll be sharing this formula as well, so stay tuned. Love, light, and healing energy is sent your way to create with. I look forward to seeing you again next time when we expand. Until then, you know I am sending it to you, those good healing vibes. I love you. Have fun creating.